I was the best student in the elementary school. My mathematical prowess made me the favorite among the teachers. And the fact that I spent majority of my childhood playing with the older guys made me naturally smarter, not only academically, street smarter among my peers. I was literally feeling like sophisticated aristocrat and playing around village dummies in elementary school. So I was growing cocky. Then I was transferred to another, much more prestigious school because I excelled in the examination to get there. I was admitted. Now I was kind of average. My mathematical abilities were still impressive, but everything else became average. Like I was not the funniest. I was not the coolest kid right now. I was mediocre. And like my friends were dorks. So they limited the growth I had. What happened next is I was transferred to high school, even more prestigious school. And here reality crushed me by all metrics imaginable, like academics, sports, attractiveness, anything you can name. I was mediocre for the first time in my life. Yeah, of course, my mathematical skills were quite good, but there were better guys. There were people who were twice my size and strengths. There were guys who were funnier. On the first day, like some guys were fucking communicating in the English language, having basic interaction in English, and I couldn't even form a sentence in the English language. I thought, who the fuck are these guys? Where did they learn English from? So in my mind, I was still the overconfident kid who is good at everything. I still had the growth mindset and I was still confident in myself, but the reality did not reflect it. So that's why I started to have cognitive dissonance. I believe that I'm the best, but the reality doesn't reflect it. It was fucking with my mental health. I was not feeling really well. And it gave me the drive to work harder. Every time I had free time, I would use this time in order to read up books, learn English, perfect my mathematical abilities. Until eventually I became the best student in the high school. Again, I was mediocre and I'm now the best. Like I had the high score in the national examination when we graduate, like in my high school. I had the best English exam results. And there was no one in the country of my age who would really compare with my mathematical abilities. So you can see how your environment forces you to grow. Like if I remained in my elementary school, I wouldn't be able to experience such growth. But environment is nothing without the mindset. You can clearly see how I was always having arrogance in me. Why not me? I was always asking myself. You can see the importance of mindset in this example. Imagine two siblings. There is a popular dynamic between two siblings where the younger brother is like average student and the older brother is a superior student. And for some reason, the younger brother remains average for his whole life, for his whole high school journey, even in the later stages of life. Why is that? Even though they both live under the same roof, in the same house, in the same fucking room. If a younger brother has the mindset of mine, of being arrogant, of thinking that you always deserve more, of having the belief that you can outperform anyone. But younger brothers do not have this mindset. They don't believe in themselves. And it's not the kid's fault because he's a literal fucking kid. What can he do? The fault is in the idiotic upbringing that his parents gave him. Constant comparisons to his older brother, constant criticizing, never encouraging enough, never giving enough parental love. All of this destroyed the younger brother's self-belief. Even though like he is literally spending most of his time with his older brother, he can really easily catch up to him because environment really caps your potential. If I had an older brother right now who was more superior, I would constantly compete with him until like after 1 year or two, I was at least as good as him or even better. So I will give you two actionable advices, actionable steps you can take right now that really worked wonders for me. One is related to the mindset aspect, another is related to the environmental aspect. But first, let me finish up my story. So I was transferred to the university, and guess fucking what? Now I was mediocre again. For the third time. The cycle keeps repeating itself. But this time the competition was even more fierce. Like every guy was so fucking advanced because right now I'm studying in Hong Kong. It's like, you know, when you watch anime or a TV series, every season the villain gets stronger and more dramatic. The same thing has happened to me. Like now everyone is smart because they were pre-selected and everyone is on the scholarship. So they were pre-selected from their high schools to be the best among the best, and everyone is disciplined. So it's no longer possible for me to really easily catch up. In high school, the advantage I had is constant growth. Like when I arrived in the high school, I was mediocre, but other guys were like here, I was like here. And they remained at their spot because they were complacent. They never learned anything new. But I was slowly catching up until I outperformed them. Now in university, everyone fucking grows, so I don't know how to catch up to them. I need to do double their work in order to catch up because they're already growing every single day. So for the first year, I really struggled. Like my mindset, my identity of being the superior student started crumbling up because I was putting in more effort 1 year, and I almost stopped believing in my identity of being the best. But yeah, surely the work accumulated and I was able to beat up my competition, so I now regain my confidence again. But I'm not the best. I'm far from it. Like of course I have good grades, but you know, some guys are already having their own startups. Some guys are having prestigious, like high salary jobs as internship, and they're not even graduated. Like I'm far behind my competition and I need to put in more work. That is giving me drive right now. You can see how your environment caps the potential you have. And then mindset helps you to beat your competition. So like in elementary school, my competition was total bullshit. So I was staying at one place. In high school, competition was up here, and my mindset allowed me to fly up there. So you need to have both. So the first actionable step I will give you will be related to the mindset. First, you need to understand your limiting beliefs. You need to reflect on your life, on your childhood traumas, everything that happened to you. For example, I'm recording this video. Do you think like I told you all of the stories about my childhood and they're quite insightful, you know? It's not like I was sitting in my chair and like, yeah, let me record this video and I remembered everything about my childhood. I was journaling consistently. That's why I'm so self-aware of my childhood and the effects it had on my psyche, like of all the positive reinforcement that I received in the elementary school, like how my parents were praising me for being the best student, how I was always beating up my competition. I was the favorite among teachers. Like all of this reinforcements, I'm aware of them. I was not aware of them like 1 year ago. 1 year ago, I had no idea what was happening in my life. I was just competing, but I never realized it. I never realized the cycles I had went through, the cycle of growth. I realized them only when I journal. So you need to journal, understand your self-limiting beliefs, understand why you have a pussy mindset. So in order for you to adopt my mindset of being arrogant, of taking things with your force, you need to really make an intention. Say, yeah, I will be him. It's not an inborn quality. You can change it. It's flexible. But you cannot just scream into the mirror that you're confident and become confident. It doesn't work like that. So the second stage is having proof of your new identity. Now you're saying, I will adopt the new identity of having the mindset of Mirza, of me. But now you have to provide the proof to your own psyche, to your own self in order to reinforce this identity. So you now have to become good at something. You have to be excellent at something. For example, you can choose to be jacked. If you are more muscular than most of the population, it will give you confidence. Because you know the amount of hours you have wasted, amount of research you have done, amount of times you adjusted your diet, amount of times you adjusted your training split, the amount of times you trained when you didn't feel like training. All of that will make you more confident. And the reason I'm saying choose being jacked because it's relatively easy. Of course, it's hard to work out, but for example, if an average Joe tries to become successful entrepreneur, he will most likely fail because it's unimaginably hard to gain financial independence when you are like not born rich. I think like 0.1% of the population achieves financial freedom. And being jacked is relatively easy, like 3% or 5% of the population becomes quite fit and quite muscular, which is quite easy compared to 0.1%. So being jacked is like the level 8 in the video game, and being financially independent is like 25. In order to get to level 25, you have to first reach level 8. Unlike fucking average Joe who is at level 1 and thinking he will immediately transfer to the level 25. It doesn't work like that. You first need to excel at something. So it will be your first step. For example, for me right now, being fit is not even an achievement. I think it's a mediocre quality every fucking aspiring entrepreneur should have, because I'm raising my standards. But if you're in a situation in life where you're average, in an average high school, it's not like even the most prestigious high school in your country, then you're doomed, bro. then you need to become jacked right now, or become like excellent guitar player, or excel in mathematics or something. Be good at something better than most of the population, and then you will have confidence in yourself. Second step is related to your environment. Like if you're the product of 5 people you spend your most time with, right? So why not make these people ultra successful entrepreneurs? How you can do it easily is by watching YouTube creators. Like if you watch guys like Iman Gaji, Alex Harmoji, Andrew Tate, you will adopt their mindset. If you watch the video about their life story, about the discipline, their like life philosophies, you will start gaining their mindset into yourself. You will raising up competition in your head. Of course, if you just mindlessly watch fucking Andrew Tate podcast on your iPhone after a long day of work, or procrastinating on the job you're supposed to be doing and forgetting anything he said after 10 minutes, and you're not going to learn anything. Don't watch fucking videos about them buying clothes or driving their cars or bragging about the girls they fuck. It's all irrelevant. Watch about discipline, about their life story. Take notes and reflect back. Take pauses and reflect on what they have said in order to at least remember what they were saying to you. It worked wonders for me, because in university, like when the competition was becoming quite easy, when I was getting high grades, I was thinking, yeah, I already made it. I'm already better than my peers. So I was growing complacent, just like in high school. But suddenly when I started watching YouTubers, I'm like, how the fuck is this guy making so much money? I'm like, is it even real? Like their work ethics is crazy. I didn't even know someone could work so many hours in a day. It raised competition in my head. And I believe it's a dark force, because when I only started watching, I was being envious, because they were so far ahead of me that I was not even believing that I can outcompete them, because they were too advanced for me. And they're like 30 years old though. They also have the age advantage. So I was searching for excuses to call them scammers. I was searching for any bleaches in their personality to call them evil, or to call them lucky, or anything that just to avoid fucking hard work. It was my brain's defensive mechanism trying to prevent me from accepting that I'm just a mediocre person and I need to change my identity and work harder. So when you start watching YouTubers, please be aware that every time you think they're scammers or they're lucky, it's your lizard brain trying to make you remain average. These are 2 actionable steps you should implement, that I implement every day in my life, and you will be set out for success. There are no fucking easy ways. There are no shortcuts. If you fail to become jacked, then you just don't deserve to be financially independent. Like imagine 0.1% of the population becomes financially independent and you can't even fucking be jacked. And how the fuck are you going to level 25 without crossing level 8? So yeah, stay strong and take action.